1 августа 2149 года за Джудит Татьен, Виктор Айза, Ланг Су в соответствии с запросом исследовательская группа по астрофизике провела полный анализ предоставленных вами данных. Измерения магнитосферы Земли имеют явные признаки флуктуации, часто коррелирующие с периодами частых и больших всплесков гравитационных волн, исходящих от Луны. Эти гравитационные волны, по-видимому, воздействуют на магнитный экран, создаваемый внутренним ядром Земли, и, возможно, влияют на само ядро, учитывая близость к источнику. Данные показывают, что скорость изменений растет по экспоненте. По мере ослабления магнитосферы снижается ее способность защищать нас от солнечного ветра. Помимо разрушительного воздействия солнечной радиации, это приведет к более серьезным последствиям – распылению или разрушению нашей атмосферы. Такое уже случалось с Марсом, планетой, которую изучали с первых дней существования космонавтики, чтобы заглянуть в возможное будущее Земли. Мы боимся, что это будущее может оказаться ближе, чем мы могли себе представить. Некоторые могут рассматривать эти данные как нормальные. Исторические флуктуации и изменения полярности ядра Земли имели место, но эти данные на порядке больше. Мы видим отголоски дебатов предыдущего поколения о глобальном потеплении, и мы хотим, чтобы наука здесь была ясной. Подобно волнам в океане, эти гравитационные волны поднимаются и в конце концов обрушиваются на берег, на Землю с разрушительными последствиями. Доктор Люк Эндрюс, главный научный сотрудник ЭПТ.
Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space. Can the drives be fixed? I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time, I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could have hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
What? So it wasn't just a fluke? A terrible but inevitable disaster?
That didn't take long at all.
Constellation, we've arrived on the surface of Earth. We need to discuss what you found.
And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company. Hey, I'm waiting here.
A while ago, you helped me out when I was captured by the Crimson Fleet. And I just wanted to say thanks for having my back. It's good to be part of a team, isn't it? To be part of something so much bigger than any one of us. So many things can go wrong out there. Working with people you can trust is important. And that's why I've been in Constellation so long. It's good to have people who will help out when you're in a jam. Exactly as often as I need to. Jams are just sticky successes, right? At first it seems annoying, but it eventually washes off. Just wait till we get matching shirts and start having official cookie days. Sounds amazing, right? Reminds me of a time when I got stranded on a ship carrying tons of frozen foods when its engine and gravity system died in the middle of nowhere. The captain allowed everybody to eat only the cookies since the meats were so expensive. But with no gravity, the cookies baked into weird little spheres. So naturally, we floated around eating cookie gobs for days. I'd say we gained quite a lot of weight. But as we were in space, we factually did not. I'm guessing gourmet chunks days are out of the question then. Don't worry, I'm just joking. Constellation is so much more than that. Speaking of which, Constellation has its ups and downs. It can be hard. Trust me, I know. When times are tough, sometimes it's important to reflect on our accomplishments. What you're doing here with us is remarkable, truly. Constellation is brighter because of you. Just figured I'd mention it, since we haven't had much time to chat before. You know, being a member of Constellation has given me a lot of opportunities, and a fair bit of stress, I'll admit. It's hard to imagine just who I'd be had I never joined up. I would have never done so many things, met so many people. It's mind-boggling how different I would be. And I never would have met Irvin. Or lost him, I suppose. That's right. We can't know the consequences of the choices we never made, and anything beyond that is imagination alone. But for the choices we made, it feels just a bit closer, doesn't it? Irvin's been gone for over 20 years. Strange how memories can pop up when you least expect it. Well, I'm enjoying my time adventuring with you, and it reminds me of Irvin in a way. We had so many adventures together, and then it suddenly stopped. Maybe part of my mind is trying to remind me of that. Yeah, don't worry. Logically, I know I should be over it. But I'm not, and it's gotten worse lately. I've ignored my feelings about Irvin's death since it happened. It's time for me to confront it. I'm just fortunate that Constellation has been a supporting home for me since Irvin died. I mean, where else would I get to dodge space pirates and discover new planets? On that note, I think I'd do well to distract myself with a little adventure for a bit. There's more where that came from. Perfect. Ah, hi there.
The test continues.
From here, humanity sprang forth from Earth like bacteria riding a sneeze.
Do you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel, at the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems?
Every grav drive in the settled systems was built on technology that came from an artifact that was discovered on Mars. But these early drives shook the gravity field surrounding Earth. Eventually, the atmosphere started to slowly sputter away into space. That's why Earth is uninhabitable. The artifact gave the scientists a greater understanding of time and space, but not the wisdom to see where that would lead.
The settled systems wouldn't exist without the artifacts, in other words. We owe what happened here in NASA a great debt. Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That's why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself. Join me, old friend. We can collect the final pieces together.
Oh, no, you don't. You're not his old friend, remember? You're from another universe. Don't try to manipulate him. Okay. I couldn't win you over on philosophy. How about pragmatism? I'm more powerful than the emissary. Than any other starborn. And you might not understand why, but I want you to succeed. You've never gotten this far before. I need to see what happens to you.
Thank you.
Well, can't say I didn't try. We'll settle this at the usual place.
The buried temple. We'll be there.
You're lucky I'm a man of my word. I'll see you there.
Stay for a moment. You must have questions about what happens next. We won't be able to go to the buried temple right away. There are still other artifacts out there in the settled systems that haven't been gathered. You'll need to work with your colleagues in Constellation to find them. All the other artifacts need to be gathered before the final one will reveal itself. I'll be bringing mine. The Hunter will be bringing his. And you'll need to bring the rest. All of the ones Constellation can find. I'll meet you in orbit above the buried temple. We'll face what's there together. He and I have made a number of agreements over the years, if you can even call them years at this point. We let him go. In exchange, he'll wait at the buried temple. You'll be able to prepare any way you can before then. There's always a final artifact in a specific temple. The Hunter and I agreed that whomever you sided with, the other would wait there. Expect anything and everything. Other starborn, human mercenaries, and defenses, alien creatures under mind control. It's all fair game. Tell me what you need.
Ah, a face I never mind seeing. What can I do for you? I have been thinking about us as a couple? I am not sure of the terminology. Our relationship, let us say. It is, and I am thankful for you every day. You and I, we come from such different backgrounds. I cannot really know all that you have been through, and you are not House Baroon. We do love each other, and that is a lot. This does not work if I am not honest, if I will not speak plainly what is on my mind. As much as I love you, and I do, I cannot help but wonder what the future holds for us, given all that I know to be true. No, that is not my concern. I trust that you will stay with me. When the Great Serpent returns, I know I will be by his side as one of the promised. But you are not like me. You are not House Baroon. Your fate, as much as it pains me, is sealed. I have tried to not worry myself over it, but I cannot stop thinking about it. What future can we have if that is the inevitable end? Non-believers will be lost in the Great Serpent's shadow for all eternity. Jinon Baroon himself told us this. And I do admire that about you. Frankly, sometimes I envy it. But I cannot share that belief. I have never expected you to share my beliefs. You cannot possibly. And I will not fault you for that. I do want to be with you, but there are moments I find myself grieving for you already, knowing that you will be lost. How can I possibly move past this? I love that you are thinking of me, not of yourself. I just hate to think of anything coming between us, whether now or in the future. But you are right. I need to focus on what is in front of me now, not something I have no control over. Thank you for talking me through this. It only serves to remind me how much you mean to me. How deeply I care about you. Really? You continue to surprise and amaze me. I am at a loss for words. There is, quite literally, nowhere I would rather be. My culture deals with this, so I need some time, but do not mistake that for hesitation.
But